Now I'm getting back to my orange, cleaning my hands, and let's start putting in those areas of light and shadow. So this is going to be a fairly simple thing to do. I'm going to start with my mid-tone value, the orange. It's kind of a slightly dull orange, not very bright, and I'm going to put it in the areas where I see that there is a border between shadow and light. Just a bit into the shadow and drag it just a bit into the light. Okay, next I'm going in with my light. This is the yellow. I'm just going to make sure that it's clean. So this is the warm yellow, and I'm adding this warm yellow over here. So this is my lightest area. And this is going to be kind of a more stylized drawing, to be honest, because I just wanted to have some fun today. It's a Sunday, and we can have some fun with our pastels. So I'm adding this yellow here. Next, we're going into darker colors. So here I'm starting already to kind of turn my orange away from the light. So this is the next color in the color swatch that we did. And this is what's going to help me bring in those darker colors and kind of make a connection between the darks and the lights. So we're going gradually. Next I have my redder orange, brown, or like reddish brown. So I'm adding it here, and I really like, to be honest, how this paper is kind of shining through the orange in parts. So this is my dark, an even darker color. Okay, like so. And then I remember also the fact that here we have that shadow from the leaf, and it's going to be quite dark. And I'm going over this shadow area, and the shadow wraps around our orange like so. Okay, next what we need is to add a bit of this medium value to our shadow so that we can create that beautiful kind of a blend with our color. Okay, now we can blend the orange slightly. So this is our first color patch that we're doing. So I'm blending it. I will be adding more color, don't worry. Even though I really liked how the texture kind of is showing through. And I'm blending in the direction of this orange's growth. So you've seen I'm not using bright color for my orange, but you will see how it immediately kind of interacts with the blue and creates that brighter appearance. So I'm going over my orange again, and this time I will keep my marks. This is my lightest value. I'm adding some orange into it. So remember, our orange is yellow orange, so warm color, but it's a yellow orange, not orange. Then I'm going again, next value. The value after that. And our darkest value. Actually, this was our darkest value. I'm gonna add some of that red back in. Okay, so I'm adding some of that light over here to create that impression of the orange curving round. So there's this light bit here and the dark in the shadow. Okay, now what we need to do is I'm actually gonna darken it up a bit, just a bit, with my browns. Very dark brown, and it's even cooler. I'm gonna add that brown into the mix here just to darken up that shadow. Just soften it slightly. And now we're going to start adding those reflexes on our orange. So here I see that there's this reflex from the background on the opposite side of the shadow. And also here. And over the top, I'm going in with my blue. Like so. And also here, there's just a bit of that reflex happening here. Also at the bottom here, there's going to be the surface reflecting into our orange. Then we add the highlight right after this shadow that we have from the leaf. Like so. And now we can add the leaf, and then we get to our shadow on the ground. So what I'm going to do with the leaf is I'm going to add first that midtone value to all of my leaf to kind of separate it from the page. Okay, next I need to add those darks. So I'm taking the very dark color and I'm adding those darks where I see them. So slightly here, then there's this curvature again away from the light, like so. And then with a slightly lighter color, I'm going to add this bit here that it kind of curves away from the light. It becomes slightly darker, but at the same time it's not as dark as in some places, like so. And even on such a small thing as a leaf, we have a reflex. So here I'm going to add that darker bit and lighten it up towards this edge, like so. And we will add a blue reflex here, even though it's dark here. We add the same color of our background and some of that orange. I'm gonna clean my hands, like so. And even add a bit more of that yellow in here to kind of mix it up together. And towards the bottom, more blue because it's reflecting the background. So here I need to darken up my shadow by the leaf itself. I'm taking the very dark brown, this color here, and I'm creating that shadow of the leaf. Adding a bit more shadow here, and there's this kind of line shaping here. Okay, and this leaf, this is gonna create that believable volume of our object. And also darkening up slightly here, like so. I'm gonna blend this dark shadow we go. Okay, now let's look at our orange. So I'm gonna darken up slightly here as it kind of turns away from the light, and also some bits here. Adding in more of that orange in places, like so. Then what we need to do is we need to see that there is some light hitting off of this area here on this orange of ours. I'm actually even gonna add that yellow in here. Like so. And then I will worry about the stalk just a bit later, now that we're finished with our leaf. Fixing this dark edge here. Okay, now we can add lights onto our leaf. See that there is a bright spot here. And then we have this bright area over here. And right where the leaf curls, here we have that lighter area. Like so. And also over here. Next, we need to do the stalk. So I'm gonna add the stalk, this little bit, with my light color first. And this one I can go already with a darker color because it's quite dark as its own, like of its own, it has a darker color. So like so. Looking at the shape, how it's formed. And then we have this shape over here. Kind of has these two triangles, like so. So you can see already we kind of have this orange forming. It's exciting to see it. Now with the darker pastel, I'm gonna create the shape of my little stalk here. Like so. And then we have the shadow on this side and the shadow under there. So there I'm gonna add that dark brown. So darkening up with the brown, just slightly. Like so. Also this bit here where it kind of attaches, I'm gonna darken it up. Darkening. Can't pronounce that. So also here, over here, and this side as well. Okay, and from here we have those kind of darker lines sneaking out. It kind of creates that central bit. We need to make it seem as if our orange is slightly curved inwards, like so. And to get that appearance, we need to also add some highlights. So I'm going to be using this light color here that I used for the highlights to add just a bit, like so. Just to make them, we're going to exaggerate it. Also here, we're going to exaggerate that light on those creases. Just slightly dull it down with this yellow. And then here, with this orange, I'm gonna go in and add those lights where the creases are. Bringing back that crease that comes out here. So you can see already that kind of curls inwards. Okay, so now that we're done, I'm just gonna add a bit of this violet reflects here as well.